Here's a new trend that's happening in Michigan. It is basically called Paintballs Up, Guns Down. It is the idea that to quell gun violence, they're actually having paintball fights in random neighborhoods throughout Detroit is where this one came from. And the police are not really happy about it. The police chief said, if you want to work with us and stop violence, there are a number of things we can do together, but having paintball wars across the city is not the way to do it, according to James Craig, the Detroit chief of police. Here's a photo of one of the groups that did paintball.
Yeah,
that's what the police seem to have an issue with. What do you guys think? 5 words or less.
Paintball, ouch.
Not the best idea.
Was hit in the face with a paintball.
Well, shoot.
Literally.
You got hit in the face with a paintball. Let's start there. What happened?
I was hurt.
Because like, you know how you're just, so you go to the paintball field, you have your everything on. Well, I had a friend who was being stupid and so was like just shooting stuff and then
That's bad.
God.
Yeah.
Did you have a bruise? You probably,
no.
Like a welt
it was like a welt for it. It wasn't that bad, but yeah, never again. That and skydiving.
Did you do skydiving?
Twice. Nope, never
Twice?
again. Yeah.
You're the only person I've ever heard who went skydiving and was like, eh.
Yeah. The first one was like,
everyone else is like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm liberated. What are you looking at my answers? Grace is looking at my answers.
She's cheating.
No.
She's cheating on the
What do you
test.
want, Grace?
This is North Carolina, right?
This is
Michigan.
Detroit.
Oh,
Detroit.
okay, fuck.
What about North Carolina?
Well,
What
because
were
I
you
saw
thinking?
Greensboro on the graphic, and I was thinking Greensboro, North Carolina. I went to school at Elon, so that's near Greensboro. So then it would have been a very vivid picture in my brain.
You're right. We should make this about you.
Okay, well, just like what it would have looked like about paintball in a city.
Sorry about myself.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it is that they're not even at like a paintball field. They're just in the city shooting these paintball guns, which people are being killed for much less.
Right.
Literally for just being African American and
having
looking shady and having a cell phone.
A cell phone does not look like a gun.
These literally look like
semi-automatics, like
yeah. So, but I mean, I can sympathize with them because they're like, look, there's a problem, there's a gun problem, there's a violence problem, and nobody's helping us. So let's just make our own solution. And this is what they come up with, which isn't the best, but I think they're trying, which I can get on board with.
Right, great point, Daron. And the cops are like, listen, I think some of the cops are seeing that, I think in hindsight, and they're saying, listen, if you want to get on board with us, cool, let's figure this out. But as we've all pointed out, the guns looks really violent.
Yeah.
And this is not the way to do it. So, and paintball's just not fun.
You don't like, dude, get over it. You got hit with one paintball.
I know, so bitter. Happened in 2005, can't get over it.
I got hit with paintballs. I did a very fratty thing, my frat, for the Rush event. I went out there we got shot by the pledges and we were very drunk, and everyone else was like, I'll just do it in like a protected, wearing my jockstrap and a cup, and I was like, that is stupid. I wrapped myself in sleeping bags. I'm like, bang, bang, bang. It's so stupid. I'm embarrassed.
Wait, they hit you in the nads?
No, well, I don't know. I was covered in sleeping bags.
He was smart, yeah, you were the smart one.
Lubricated with alcohol. Don't do that. They said that 95 recent calls, according to the chief of police, we don't have a graphic for this, I just pulled it. 95 recent calls within an unspecified date range were about these kinds of incidents. They said we've taken scout cars out of service to handle these calls, and we know there are other emergency calls for service that can't be handled because we're handling these calls. It is but do you think the idea of having this paintball war, people are like, oh, instead of shooting people with bullets because of reasons I want them dead, instead of that, we're just gonna have a fun time outside? Is there gonna be some rule where it's like, oh, we just solved it on the paintball court?
I think if they use the activity, if they highlight in a positive, an all-inclusive event, which is basic, exactly, yeah.
There's a lot of, and this goes across the board around the world, there's a lot of stuff where it's like, if there's any other event besides the kinds of stuff that lead to violence and crime, then people will gravitate toward that because of course they'd like to do it. So having some kind of event, a lot of the times it's like boredom or just a lack of a healthy way to kind of turn your frustrations with not having something constructive to do. I think something like this could serve if it was in a sanctioned location at a sanctioned time.
The location is what kills me, is that they're just around the city just having a paintball war. Nobody knows if they're real guns or not besides them. But yeah, if they were in a place where this is a designated area for you guys to like have this sort of activity, sure, why not?